Hey, what's going on guys? Mitch Austin here from Austin's Workshop, and in today's video I'm making the Golden Fleece from God of War 2. Let's get building. Now, for anyone who's into Greek mythology, you might have heard of the Golden Fleece before. It's a little bit different in mythology and in the game. In mythology, the Golden Fleece was an actual fleece made from golden wool from a ram, versus in the game, it's a piece of armor that Kratos acquires that allows him to deflect certain attacks and other projectiles back at its opponents or objects that are throwing things at him. This is going to be a fun project. This was requested a long time ago by some of you guys. It's taken me a long time to get to this because the only reason is I've been hesitant about doing any type of cosplay, any type of armor stuff, because I've never done it before. I've always done like weaponry and other types of statues and other objects, but I've never done anything cosplay, so I was very hesitant about doing this for a long time. But I decided I just need to get over with. I need to get out of my comfort zone and do this for you guys. So the armor is just going to be, like I said, on my arm. It's in 3 different parts, just like in the game. It's going to be all 3D printed, and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it's a fun project, and I hope I don't disappoint you guys. So let's get to it. So first up, I have the lower armband. This took 3 hours, and about 5% infill was used. Came out really clean. Supports were very easy to come off with very little cleaning to do. Next up, I printed the armbands. Both of them took together an hour and a half to print. No supports were needed, and again, a 5% infill. Next up, we have the upper armband. This is the bigger arm shield. This took almost 5 hours to print, again with supports, a 5% infill, and everything came out nice and clean with no issues whatsoever. And lastly, we have the shoulder guard. This thing was barely able to fit on my Anchor Make M5, but luckily I didn't have to make adjustments to slice it or anything. It took 4 hours to print with supports and a 5% infill as well, and it came out looking great. Okay, so this is why you want to triple check your files before you decide to start printing. This did come out really well. The only downside is I don't have the ring holder to meld this with the armbands. And I guess what happened was when I went to edit the size of one of the rings here, is it didn't see it or something must have happened. But now I have the file back up, and it now has the spot here for the armband. So now back to the printer it goes. Hopefully we don't have any more mistakes like that. So back to the printer I went. I reprinted the part. It had the hole this time. All the supports came off clean, and I thought I was golden until I realized there was another issue. Unfortunately, I forgot to record it on this camera, but I recorded the issue for my TikTok channel. So here's the clip from my TikTok. So here's an update on the Golden Fleece. I have all the parts printed off, but I think I'm going to end up doing some upgrades, because as I have them sitting on my body, this one sits roughly about here, which I think it needs to be up higher, and it could be a little bit bigger. And this band sits probably about here. And the rings that I made, they kind of cut into my arm a little bit, so I might have to do something that's not 3D printed, that's a little bit more comfortable. And then this shoulder thing, this was a Hail Mary that I didn't really put a lot of design in, because I thought it was just a little rounded piece of metal that Kratos does. So I might do something different with this, redesign this so it sits on my shoulder a little bit better and maybe looks a little bit better. So that's what I did. I went back into the file and resized both my armbands so they could fit on my arms a little bit better, and so that way they could be a little more snug on my arms as well. I also had some TPU lying around. I decided to switch to this material over PLA because it's a little more flexible, a little bit more comfortable. So I thought that would work. It took 61 hours because TPU is a slow process print, but I think they came out looking pretty nice. Probably one of the best TPU projects I had done in a long time. Alright, so now I have all the brand new parts printed off that are much bigger. I have the lower shield printed. I have the upper shield printing. It covers a heck of a lot better.
I also took the time and went back to my original file and decided to redesign a brand new shoulder piece, which looks to me a lot more like the shoulder pad that Kratos has in the game. This I had to print in two parts because I had to make it larger to fit on my shoulder comfortably and to give a little more curve for functionality. The supports were a little bit struggle to take off because I used tree supports instead of general supports because in the past they've been pretty good to take off over your traditional supports. But after some time, I was able to take all the supports off, and then it was time to start putting the shoulder pad together.
Alright, so this shoulder guard is sitting pretty well now that it's soldered together. I might add probably some kind of magnets or something on the back side of the front part here as well as on the other side, and maybe something on the shoulder because it does sit decently well, but obviously the more I move my arm, the more that's going to want to move. So I'll have to come up with something to stick it in place when maybe I'm wearing a shirt, obviously, or we'll find something to get it to stick. But so far it's looking a lot better. I have the old one actually right here that obviously doesn't look as good. Looks like half effort on that, but I like this one a whole lot. I like this one a lot better. This one definitely came out really well.
So now it was time to connect the arm bands to the shield plates. I didn't record this earlier, but when I redid the arm bands, they were much larger than the holes I had originally designed in the shield plates, so I couldn't fit them properly. Instead, I used contact cement, which was what I was going to use anyway, to glue them in the initial spot that I wanted them. Once I let the glue dry, I went ahead and used a 3D pen to add a little extra strength to ensure that the rings would connect to the plates properly. Now came the fun part of priming everything. A lot of 3D printers do priming because it helps reveal any type of layer lines and any other imperfections. And once I was done priming, I went ahead and sanded and added some liquid latex putty to build up any type of bumps or cuts or any type of, like I said, imperfections. And then once that was done, I went ahead and started painting the gold colors on. I found this really shiny metallic gold paint, which I believe came out really, really nice. It looked a lot, kind of, in my opinion, looked a little more rustic and old fashioned type of gold, which I think fit the Golden Fleece perfectly.
All right, let's put the armor on and see how it looks. Alright, check this out, you guys. This came out looking really well. I love the gold color. This came out much better than I anticipated. It looks a lot better than this old gold color that we had originally printed with. For anyone that's wondering, I'm using double-sided tape to hold the shoulder blade, shoulder pad up here, but it looks really well. Movements pretty well. It does feel a little bit limited around my shoulder, but this came out looking so awesome. What do you guys think? Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys like this project and you want to see more projects, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you guys have ideas for projects you'd like to see on this channel, be sure to comment below what you want to see. I check the comments on all my videos to get ideas from you guys. I know for a lot of you guys this was a long time project coming, and I'm sorry it took so long to make this. This was so fun to make. And remember guys, if you have a crazy idea and a crazy way to make it happen, don't let people tell your ideas are stupid if they work. See you guys next time.